All right, folks, and we're back. For those of you that are joining in live, we're running it back. Where we left off at is understanding how to build wealth using diversification, but true diversification, not just investing in one asset class. An asset class being something that generates you income without your physical involvement. We have three different asset classes. We have the paper asset classes, which includes stocks, 401ks, mutual funds, bonds, etc. We have the business asset class, and we have the real estate asset class. We have not covered the business and real estate yet. We had gotten to the part about when you use other people's money. If you think like a consumer, it's the worst idea ever, because a consumer is going to use somebody else's money to buy liabilities. They're going to buy things that literally continue to take money out their pocket. So not only are they having money taken out of their pocket from the cost of using it, which is the monthly payment on the money. If you have a credit card, you swipe a credit card for $20,000. Well, they may charge you $200 a month. Just use it as an example. Well, if you bought a liability, you bought some clothes, some Gucci shoes, or you bought a car with it, etc., that's not going to make you money, then you're on the hook for not only paying the money back, but you're also on the hook for paying something that's not paying you. All right? So an investor uses money, other people's money, banks' money, credit card money, etc., to invest in businesses, real estate, or paper stocks, okay? Or paper asset classes. So as an investor, we want to psychologically rearrange your brain to understand that what you have to do to get out of the rat race of life is to buy your freedom. You want to buy your income. You may not have access to hands-on capital right now, hands-on money for yourself. So where do you get this money from? Once again, go to reicollege.com, opt in, let us take a look at your financial situation. If you don't know if you would qualify for something like this to get access to people's money, and we'll see where you are. And then also we have people in place to help you get access to other people's money or the bank's money, etc. So now this, once they tell you the interest rates, that is the amount of money that you have to pay back on top of what you borrow. Consumers care what they're being charged in interest because they are the ones paying it back. Investors only want to know the cost or the interest rate of using the money so that they know how much more they need to make on top of it, okay? So now, once you have identified the cost of using OPM, other people's money, then you come to a business system or one of these three different asset classes, and you choose the ones that you're going to use to buy your income. So let's talk about this. So when I make a decision on buying my income, remember our financial wealth pyramid at the first video at the beginning of it. Real estate should be at the foundation of every financial wealth pyramid, but it does not have to be the starting point. So when I choose my specific asset class that I'm going to start off investing my money in, the first thing I want to realize or think about is, where is money flowing to without me trying to convince people to spend money there? So what we've identified, our team, our students, and everybody across the country that we've helped use this formula and get them the system to buy so that they can continue on their financial journey and be financially wealthy, is we've identified 5 different streams of income that are not only a should, but are a must if you want to attain financial freedom. Not just financial freedom, but financial time freedom as well. Meaning you have the time freedom to do whatever you want to do. You have the income revenue to do whatever you want to do. Before I go over these 5 streams that we have selected for our students, I want you to understand that when you're going after your financial freedom and your time freedom, I lost that thought. Let me go back to this. So the first one that I want to cover is I identified early on, I had to choose these things I came through accident. But I came across this information via accident, or I wouldn't say accident, but I stumbled across of it in search of financial freedom. I feel like I would be considered one of the Thomas Edisons of the financial light bulb. Meaning I've lost so many times. I've failed so many times. But in my failing, I've gained the knowledge that it takes to all I have to do is flick a light switch on and I have the financial intelligence. And so that you don't have to go out there and fail as many times as I've done, I've now established a blueprint of the streams of income that you can now take advantage of to go win big. So at the beginning of every year, 2020 is the beginning of this year right now. And one of the first things that has to be done at the beginning of every year is what?
Taxes.
Taxes, okay? So what we did in 2010 is we recognized a stream of income by being the provider of people that have to do taxes. Now, me, I think big. I wanted to make millions from everything that I did, and maybe you do too. This is the thought that came back to me. But understanding your situation, most people want to make $1 million and have $1 million stacked up. That is an amazing destination. But to understand that in order to become financially free, we want to put your focus on what does it take for you to cover your monthly obligations. Whatever your monthly obligations are, so let's just say, for instance, it costs you, you're making $3,000 a month, but it costs you $3,500 a month to live, all right? So that means that if you're making $3,000 a month, but it costs you $3,500 a month to live, that means right now you're negative $500 a month cash flow. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So understanding that your number one focus should be to generate enough passive income from any one of these three asset classes that is more than what it costs you to live. Meaning these asset classes do not require your physical involvement once they get up and going, all right? Nor do they require your mental attention once they get up and going, okay? So these are streams of income that you're going to produce from these different asset classes that produce more money on a monthly basis than what it costs you to live. So what am I saying? If you're working a job and you're making $3,000 a month from your job, you are still in the rat race. You have to go to work to survive financially. But when your streams of income produce $3,501, meaning $1 above or even 1 penny above what it costs for you to live monthly, you are out of the financial rat race. Meaning you have a decision. Do you want to go into work today? You wish somebody would say something wrong with you because now you can spend more time on your own business streams than you did on somebody else's job. Does that make sense? So now we want to put our focus on generating enough monthly cash flow so that we can now exit the rat race and then continue to build on these things so that we can have an overflow that requires us not a focus of saving, but the overflow. We can't help but to stack up $1 million. Take your focus off of saving what you got your hands on, because there's going to always be a rainy day, and focus on abundance, producing more than what you need in a cash flow version. And when it becomes more than what you need, but these streams are constantly growing, this money is going to automatically fill up. Imagine it as a financial boat. All right? A financial boat. All right? And so as money starts to fill up in this boat, you've plugged all of the leaks, right? You don't have any more leaks. You're not hustling backwards anymore. Now you got streams of income coming in. It can't help but to overflow. And overflow outside of the boat, etc. To where your problem when you come back to us is, what do I do with all of this excess cash flow?
So you're saying that I can't save my way to $1 million?
So the illusion is that we can save our way to $1 million. But remember, that theory doesn't work, and I explained that when we talked about the 401k. If you've done the math, let's just say the average person, how much are they socking away from their paycheck?
Well, I don't know, but let's say me and my spouse are really serious. We save $1,000 a month.
Okay, $1,000 a month. And how long is that? What are you saving for? What's your purposes of saving? What's the typical purpose of saving for? Rainy day or for retirement?
definitely rainy day if something comes up, and for retirement. So
Okay. So, and how long is your work plan? How long do you plan on working? How many years?
as little as possible.
I
That's why I'm
get
here.
that, but how many years would you say if you were working a job, how many years? 10, 15, 20?
I would say most people work maybe like 30 years.
Okay, so we're gonna do 30-year plan. 30-year plan, and out of this $3,000, a person is able to save $1,000. Right? So that means that they're living off of $1,100. But we know that's not the case. This is exaggerated, right? So $1,000 a month is being socked away times 12 months. With me, that's $12,000 a year times 30 years. That puts us at $360,000 saved. Now, there's a such thing as inflation. Familiar with that? Inflation is what things cost today will be higher tomorrow because the cost of money increases.
Okay.
Okay? So now, if once I understand inflation and I calculate in, that's saying that in 1990, gas was like 60 cents. In 2020, gas is $3.20. Does it make sense? So in a 30-year time frame, what I could drive around with off 50 cents is now costing me $3.20. All right? So that's what inflation does.
Okay.
So if I have to calculate that for gas, I also need to calculate inflation for my house note, my food. Bread isn't going to cost the same. Milk isn't going to cost the same. Medicine isn't going to cost the same if a person's not taking care of themselves in a healthy way, right? So everything that you're used to, if you base your entire financial understanding off of your current financial situation, in 30 years, your retirement plan was for this time frame. It's not going to suffice as long. That's just like saying 30 years ago, $36,000 was what I saved. What could you do with $36,000 30 years later? It's hard to really make moves. It's hard to live. How long could you go off of 30 years ago if you made that game plan? We're just backtracking and looking back. This ain't looking forward. We're saying now you're living off of $2,000 a month as your take home. So now it costs you $3,500 a month. So that means that in approximately 9 or 10 years after you retire, you've depleted your 401k savings.
Oh my God. Then what? Who hires old people?
Who hires? Right. So these are the things that you don't wait till 30 years to think about. You think about these things now. And by you thinking about these things now, what you do is you don't save for a rainy day. You don't save for retirement. You save solely to invest. All right? Your entire savings, the purpose of a savings account, the focus of it should be to invest. Invest so that you can invest in what? The asset classes, all right, that produce a stream or revenue of income that ends up being more than enough. So what happens is this. In the economy, as this goes down in 2008, like it did in 2008, this may be going up. You with me? This may be going down as well. This one may be the only one that's going up. But then there's going to come a time where this one is going up and this one is going up. This one is going down. When all three go up simultaneously at the same time, this is how you create wealth. It's called synergy. You create a synergy of wealth when your three different asset classes are simultaneously escalating.
Okay.
All right? So now what we want to do is understand, with my situation, how do I want to make my income? Do I want to work for it or I want to buy it? All right? I want to buy my income. So now I'm going to create or buy into a system that has these streams of income already created for me.
Okay.
All right? So this system, now we know that a Subway franchise, just so you can understand what I mean when I say buy my income. A Subway franchise may cost me typically $100,000, and typically a Subway franchise can make about $8,000 a month.
Okay.
So $8,000 a month times 12 months or a year comes out to $96,000 a year. All right, that's of course before taxes. That's the income that I can purchase by purchasing the Subway. Now, that's not considering it. I'm going to probably be the one making the burgers or my family members, etc. So there's a lot of other factors that goes into this. But I can buy $96,000 a year income with $100,000.
Okay.
Right? And this is typically the model. I don't know how much a McDonald's costs, but I think they're over $1 million. And typically around the same type of concept, between $100,000 to $200,000 for a McDonald's. So now I have to look at my situation, and once I get my hands on other people's money and I get access to that type of capital, what can I go buy? All right? So what we decided to do was tie our income or our investments into things that are unconsciously done, habitually used.
Okay.
All right? And what is that? Every year, at the top of every year, people file taxes. I'm going to show you a base model, simple formula that if all you had was 30 clients, me, I went for thousands, right? I created a model and I went for 1,000 clients. But if all you did was gather 30 clients for your tax business, the average tax client pays about $400 to get their taxes done. So $400 times 30 clients, boom, that pays me $12,000. We're going to go over the cost of these total streams of income, okay? In just a second, so you can see how much. So $12,000. The next one is, I noticed after experience, I wasn't really truly prepared, because the majority of these people, this is how we create our own economy. So you understand what we're doing. This is the base model of creating your own Wall Street. All right? Your own economy. This is what we teach our students, our clients, and what we give them access to. So now, when I realized that these tax clients that I had gotten, they all took that money that I got them in a refund, regardless of the education that we were talking about prior, and they went to go buy liabilities, right? And so it's supposed to trying to change what they're going to do anyway. To create your own economy, you must keep the money circulating in your own economy. Does that make sense? So as opposed to letting that money that I got them from my knowledge about how to do taxes go out the door, these people went to go buy a car, etc. So now I got ahead of that trend and I purchased my auto dealer's license.
Okay.
All right? So now my auto dealer's license allowed me to be able to take full advantage of a lane that money was escaping out of my economy, right? So if I take these same 30 clients, somebody's turning age 16 in one of those families, somebody's car just broke down, a neighbor is getting a new car, etc. I can put a referral bonus in place to where I can turn these 30 people into 30 car sales, right? So now the average car can make you between 1,000 to 5,000 plus from an auction, okay? But we're going to use base numbers and say that you only make $1,500 for every car that you sell. Well, that puts you at another $45,000. Now, mind you, when is taxes done? The first 3 months of the year. That's when it's supposed to be done. So that means in the first quarter of the year, I've brought in $57,000. You with me?
And I could do more than 30.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
This is just a lowball number if you don't want to spend a lot of effort. You want your time freedom too, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to pick up your kids, go eat lunch with your kids at school, kick it, do a couple. These 30 customers, you literally can do them all in a day or 2 or 3. And be done if this is your goal.
Okay.
You can get these cars at an auction within a 20, 30-day time frame and be done, all right? So this doesn't take 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month.
Okay.
This may only take you what we call a 4-hour work week, right? Or 4-hour work month. So now the next one that we do is we teach you how to get your other, because you got 1, 2, this will be your third LLC, consulting firm. The consulting firm, this stream of income is absolutely amazing because a consulting firm, what it does is everything. Mm-hmm. It literally finds the people that somebody is willing to spend money on. So whatever service that a person needs, a consulting firm, you choose what services you want to offer your clientele, okay? Once you identify what their habits are spending money on, what different types of services they're spending money on, your consulting firm then offers that to them, but you're not the one doing the work. Mm-hmm. The consulting firm finds the vendor and gets in between the money that's being spent, like Amazon. You want to become the Amazon of your own economy.
Okay.
And you want to provide any service that makes sense to you, that protects your time and produces income for you.
If I didn't know where to start, could y'all help?
Oh yeah, so the part that we're going over in what we teach you is a system to where all of these has been created for you. Like, you don't have to try. That's what I'm saying. Like, me being the Thomas Edison of the financial literacy world, all we did was made it available to where you ain't got to try to keep inventing lights.
Oh, my God.
We flick the light switch on so that all you got to do is either use money that you already have available or go get OPM, other people's money, and buy your freedom and buy your income.
Wow.
Right? So now, this consulting firm, it has a plethora of ways that it makes money. The next thing that we teach you how to do is the heartbeat of America and how the vein of America is the transportation industry. We have established a relationship with one of the largest companies in the entire world that allows us to bring on people who want to acquire a transportation company, and we give them access to this contract that we have. And so now, I'll tell you one of our specific transportation entities. During Christmas, they call that peak season, where everybody's ordering off of Amazon, right? During peak season, from November to the end of December, people are buying orders, and they need tons of people. So in just 1 month, we made over $55,000 from this transportation company in 1 month. But let's just say if you only make $25,000.
I would be okay with that in a month.
Right? So that puts you at $82,000. This is covering your November, December months where they say business is slow. So what we wanted to understand was how business being slow, what is a guaranteed stream that money flows through regardless? So that I don't have to experience what everybody else is experiencing in the traditional economy. In my economy, these streams are always flowing and turned on. People are always spending money and coming to us to ask us who to go to, and we find it for them and make the money in between. People are always buying cars, people are always getting their taxes done, and people are always ordering things offline so that we can service this vendor and make money. The last thing, well, I'm gonna put it at the top, but this is the last stream, but this is your nonprofit entity, where we teach you how giving it all away, all of the money that you make, we set up to where we create your nonprofit entity, and then all of these streams of income, you have the option to give it away to the nonprofit of your choice.
Why would I want to give away all this money I made?
So the thing is, when at the end of the year, when you're doing taxes, you're going to be taxed on this income, these profits.
Okay.
So now, if you are the controller of a nonprofit, or you decide to give it all away to the nonprofit of your choice, when you earn all this income and you give it away to the nonprofit of your choice, you're donating to a higher cause. The American tax system is set up to where if you donate your money to a charity, it's right offable. You are able to write off this income, and now the nonprofit gets to distribute that income into other things, other avenues, or our foundation to our wealth pyramid. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The number one thing, ground zero, what we start you with is a real estate education. How to acquire real estate.
So you're saying I just made, if I don't even go that hard, over $80,000, and I don't have to pay taxes on it?
I would say they from the start